Hello and welcome to another update video about ETH. Probably the most boring range in which ETH has been moving, well, for the last month or so, or actually longer, because literally nothing is happening. You see the volatility is reducing currently. The market is moving in what looks a little bit like a triangle, and volatility and volume are both reducing in such a triangle. It represents a balance of forces, so really we have to wait for the market to make a decision and clarify its intentions, at least on the smaller time frame, on the very small time frame. So zooming into that triangle there, the probabilities are really balanced. We're going to do that in a minute. Overall, however, the expectations are that in the next rally to the upside, the range of $3,000 to $4,000 should be reached next, and possibly quite quickly, because on the daily time frame, ETH is going to start ETH is going to start a third wave rally. The thing is though, is it going to be more directly bullish? Do we go up directly from here, or do we get a little bit more of a dip into that support zone highlighted in white and green? There are two different support zones relevant for different wave structures. For example, the white box here is relevant for just a C wave down, and that might be enough. Yeah, normally in a wave 2, we'd like to see the green box reached between the 38.2 retracement and the 78.6 retracement. We are far away from that at the moment. The market is moving sideways. So we're going to zoom in a minute. But first of all, the idea is still that ETH topped in a wave 1 on the 9th of December. We're now in a wave 2, and the market really hasn't done much for more than a month, or for a month, just been moving sideways. And the important aspect about this correction was, and I've mentioned that from the beginning, I wanted to see a three-wave move. So we've got that. The question is the third wave there, which we call in this case the wave Y, is that already finished? And it could be. I think it would still look better with another low, going a little lower. Now again, that's not the same as predicting it. It's just to highlight that there is definitely the potential there, and I would see it as opportunity if the price breaks a bit lower, especially if not, then this was a really shallow wave 2. If this was all of it, yep, it was long enough in duration, but it was still very shallow compared to what a wave 2 would normally, ideally, do. So if we take a look at the subwave structure, really not much changed since yesterday. So I understand if a lot of people aren't interested at the moment because they already know what's going on. Balance of forces, very balanced at the moment. I think probabilities are still favoring slightly to go down, just because typically when we talk about an ABC structure like that, so of the 28th of December high, the wave count shows an A wave down, a B wave up, and a C wave down. The C wave would ideally, it has to be a 5-wave move. Now, if it's not, it could be a different structure, a WXY. That's not so common. So that's what I mean, probabilities suggest still 1 or 2 more lows, especially because the wave 2 itself wasn't really deep. So looking at this, we've got this potential top of a B wave in wave 3 of C. That B wave might have topped, C wave might be unfolding, but the evidence isn't there. So I need to see at least now a break below the previous lows. For example, that B wave low in yellow, which would be $2,209, followed by a break below this week's low, which is at $2,140, and then we should head closer towards $2,093, $2,055, and possibly $1,994 in that region next. But I need to see some evidence for that. At the moment, the market doesn't really know what it wants to do. However, if the price moves into the apex of a triangle like that, is really getting squeezed, often it means that a big move is coming, so be ready for some irrational volatility. It is possible that we get a more direct breakout to the upside, and wave 2 already finished here this week at the low point, but then the price would need to show us that by, first of all, breaking above $2,444, which is the December high, and we need to see 5 waves filled in this potential diagonal pattern. But then this is also a mess here. So I think in both cases, a B wave could be unfolding in the relevant third wave, It's just a question of, okay, which direction do we want to break out of the triangle? And the market might decide that today. So stay tuned for updates and just be aware there could be some volatility. I mean, typically there is a big move coming after the triangle breakout. That's very close. But it's Sunday, so I'm not sure how much action we get on a weekend. But this is going to be a relevant breakout point that could give us some clarity and specify which pathway we want to follow going forward. At the moment, I'm leaning towards the white count, but that's just because of the reasons I mentioned. You know, it's not a must. That's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.